Hello everybody, welcome back to Reading for Vocabulary. I'm Brian Stewart. Hey, we're continuing on our subject about robots. In fact, we're talking about robot actors in this lesson. Robot actors. So we're going to learn about some robots in movies. Wow, exciting, right? Maybe your favorite subject. Who knew English could be so fun, right? So this is a good subject. Do you know this movie? Of course you do. It's Transformers. Everybody knows the Transformers. This is a good movie as an example to show robots as actors in movies. And that's what this lesson is about today. Let's take a look, though, at the vocabulary. So let's start. Whoa, I'm sorry. We went from a very exciting picture to a very difficult picture. What is all this math? And look at this boy. He looks very serious, doesn't he? Okay. Someone who is very smart. Someone who is very smart. Like if this boy can do all of these math problems, I don't even know what these math problems are. If he can do those, he is a genius. He's a genius. Genius. Are you a genius? Are you really, really smart in math? Are you really smart in languages? Or maybe you're smart in something else. There are different types of geniuses, right? So maybe you're a genius in one area or another, okay? So a person who's very smart is a genius. Okay, next one, far away. So if that city is really far away, we can say it is distant, distant. If you see mountains very far away, those mountains are distant, distant, far away. Okay, next one. To change into something else, okay? So a long time ago, this was all rock, but water and wind came through and changed these rocks into very interesting shapes. What happened? They transformed. Transform. Trans, of course, is across, and form is shape, so across different shapes. Transform. This is a verb, to change into something else. Remember the movie poster we saw at the beginning? Transformers. Of course, those are about robots that can change their shape into something else. And we'll read about that in the passage. Whoa, there's a funny guy, right? He's a funny looking guy. Maybe he wants to hide himself. To hide yourself by looking different, right? He doesn't look like that. He doesn't have such big eyebrows. He doesn't have a big nose or a mustache. But he put it on. Maybe he wants to hide who he really is. So what is he doing? He is disguising. To disguise yourself, right? Also, disguise can be a noun also, right? But here it is a verb. In this definition, to hide, that is a verb, but it can also be a noun. The glasses with the big nose and the mustache, that is a disguise. So you put on a disguise. You can put on a disguise. So you can use disguise as a verb or as a noun. If you use it as a noun, you can say put on a disguise. Put on a disguise. And disguise can be clothes too. If you want to hide your true identity, you don't want anybody to know who you are. Put on a disguise. Disguise yourself. Okay, next one. Hey, you know this guy, right? That's Spider-Man, the amazing Spider-Man. He's the good character in a story. Now, unfortunately, in many stories, Spider-Man, people think he's a bad guy, right? But Spider-Man's he's really the good guy. Who is he? He's the hero. He's the hero of the movie. The good character. The person who does good things and helps other people. That is the hero of the movie. Okay? Now, movies usually have heroes, but then also movies have somebody who fights against the hero, the main bad character in a story. And these are the people who fight against the hero, right? So movies, of course, many movies show conflict. You have good and evil, good guys, bad guys, and they're fighting against each other. Well, the heroes are the good guys Who are the bad guys? What do we call them? We can call them villain. A villain is a bad guy. So villains are the bad characters in movies. The villains are fighting the heroes of the movies. Who wins? Well, usually in a movie, the hero wins, right? Usually, especially movies about superheroes, the good guy always wins, doesn't he? Or she. There's lots of female heroes too, super action or superheroes that are female as well. So it's the good guy or the good girl who always wins in these types of movies, right? But the villains usually lose. Okay. Not caring if you hurt others. So if somebody doesn't care if you hurt others, this is a bad thing, right? It's not a good thing. It's what the villain would do, right? The villains are ruthless. Ruthless is an adjective. It's an adjective. It's used to describe what somebody is like. What is their personality like? What is their character like? They are ruthless. It means they don't care if they hurt other people. That's very bad, right? A person who doesn't care if they hurt other people, right? They just do what they want. They want to get what they want. They don't care about other people. That's ruthless. It's bad. That would be a villain, a bad guy, or a bad character. Okay. Using great force to hurt others. Like in this movie, oh no, he is kicking him right there. That looks very painful, right? So what is this? This is violent. This is violent action. Violent is also an adjective. It's an, oh, that's so strange, J, isn't it? It's an adjective. Violent. It's a violent scene. It's a violent act. He's a violent person. So we use violent as an adjective in front of a noun to show that something or somebody is using great force to hurt other people. It's a violent movie. It's a violent scene. It's a violent person. Okay? So violent is an adjective to describe person, place, thing. Okay, next one. Do you remember this movie? I don't know if you remember it. It's a little bit old, right? Maybe before you were born. I don't know. It's, of course, called RoboCop. It was a cool movie, the first one, right? There's been others, too. But this is RoboCop. He's part human, part robot, right? Part machine. But he's human inside. And this, of course, is just a robot. To show as a main part. Now, to show as a main part, we are to feature. So RoboCop features this character here, and also this is the bad guy in the end of the movie. This is also a part of the movie. To show as a main part, the main part of a movie, especially, is the feature. For example, this is usually used to describe the actors or actresses in a movie. For example, you can say, the new movie is going to feature Brad Pitt. That means Brad Pitt will be a main part of the movie. You could also say, the new movie will feature New York, which means a place. New York, the setting, the place will be a main part of the movie. So to show as a main part, it can be a person, it can be a thing, it can be, a machine, an animal. It could be anything, really. It's just a main part of something. It features that thing or that person. Okay. What we use to speak and write. What am I using right now to speak to you? I'm using English, right? What is English? English is a language. Of course, you normally use Korean to speak and write. That is your language. Right now you are learning a different language. You're learning English. So language is what we use to speak and write. Notice that this is not language. Be careful. These, I would call these letters. Not alphabets. Don't say these are alphabets. These are letters. Alphabet is the whole set of letters from A to Z in English. The whole set is alphabet. Individual symbols are letters, okay? And of course, letters are part of language. These letters are part of the English language. These letters are a feature of the English language, okay? See how we work the vocabulary together. Okay, next one. Oh, what happened to him? I think he's drinking too much, right? Very dangerous. Okay, well, he fell down and he's probably pushing the horn, a short, high-pitched sound. So maybe it goes beep, beep, right? Look at that. That's the word. Some words in English are the same as the sound that they make, right? So if you push the horn on a car, right? The horn on a car, it makes a high-pitched sound. We say that sound is a beep. And that's what it sounds like. It's beep, beep. The sound and the word are the same. Sometimes we hear that, right? Sometimes that's true in English. Okay? So that's a good word there to show that the word and the sound are the same thing. Okay. Next, to be successful in a game or fight. Oh, what happened here? We can see what happened very easily. These two ladies were playing a game. One person is going to do what? One person is going to win. The other person is going to lose. So, who do you think won? Who do you think lost? Win is a irregular verb. So I said won. Win, won, won. Who won? She won, obviously. Who lost? Oh, lose, lost, lost, right? She lost. Okay? So somebody will win, somebody will lose. After the game, who won? She won, she lost. Okay? So which team won? That team won, that team lost. Okay, next word. Wow, this is a big airplane, right? This is a plane driven by jet engines. Jet engine is here and here. Now, a long time ago, there were no jet engines. Planes used propellers. Now, I'm not a very good artist, so I'm trying to draw these. It looks like a flower, doesn't it? But these things would spin really fast, and they would catch the air and push the plane forward. And these were called propellers. Propeller. A propeller plane. So we said propeller plane, or sometimes people say prop plane. Propeller plane or prop plane. But then, of course, technology improves. Now we have jet engines. What kind of plane do we call that? We call that a jet. So it's really the same thing. A jet engine, it's a jet. If it has a jet engine, oh, there's two more over here too. Whew, don't forget those. Okay? If it has a jet engine, it is a jet. Okay. Oh, that's too bad. What happened here? A problem or difficulty, right? There's a problem with the engine in this car. So a problem or difficulty is trouble. Now, this is a good picture to show for this word because in this case, we can say she has car trouble. And that's a very common expression, right? She has car trouble. Do you have car trouble? If your car breaks down. It's a very common expression. Do you have car trouble? Or she has car trouble. Okay, interesting expression. Okay, next, a vehicle for carrying goods. Now, a vehicle for carrying goods, this is a special type of vehicle. You would not call this a car. It's not a car, it's a truck. A truck is a big vehicle and it has a big area, a big space. You can put many things inside, whether it's rocks like this or sometimes it's all closed and it has a roof and it has a door back here and you can put stuff inside. That's a tractor trailer, okay, that carries, you know, like electronic goods from the factory to the store or many other types of products, okay? There's many different kinds of trucks. Also a pickup truck, which is smaller. One person uses and they can put their furniture or their tools in the back of the truck and drive to the job, but it's much smaller. Trucks are different shapes and sizes. Okay. Oh, you know this guy. Who is that? You've seen him in the movies before. That's George Clooney. So it's kind of an interesting picture because here we have, oh, I think I know her too. She looks familiar. I can't remember her name. She was in the movie Fargo. Okay? So anyway, it's funny that they are famous actor and famous actress. They're watching the movies. which is the moving picture. Movies. These two people are famous in the movies, and they're in the theater right now watching a movie. So let's go see a movie. There's many expressions we can use with movie. Let's go see a movie. Go see a movie. Let's go see a movie, okay? Also we say movie theater. Movie theater. Okay, a movie theater. And that's where we see moving pictures. Moving pictures is not really a common expression anymore. It was a common expression when movies were first invented because people didn't know what movies were. They knew what pictures were, and when the pictures moved very quickly, they called it moving pictures. Oh, it's moving pictures. But nowadays we don't say moving pictures often, we say movie. Okay, of course, movies are very important in our lives. We probably watch many movies every week, every month, maybe even every day. Don't watch too many movies though. It's not good for your brain, okay? Take it easy. Okay, now let's go over the vocabulary exercises now. How well do we remember those words that we just learned? Here we need to complete each sentence with a word from the box. So we have many words in the box here, and we have sentences on this and the other slides that we need to fill in the blank with the proper word. Let's review the words real quick. The words in the box are, first, genius, genius, that's better. Distant, distant. Transform, transform. Disguised, disguised. Next is hero, hero. Then villain, villain. Next is ruthless, ruthless. And then violent, violent. Okay, those are our words. Where do we put these words in the sentence? Which word goes with which sentence? Let's find out. Number one, though she is little, although she is little, even though she is little, she is a beep in mathematics. Okay, now this is kind of a strange thing because it doesn't really matter that she's little. I mean, maybe it's because, maybe you could say even though she is young, she's little. Maybe she's a little girl, right, that they're talking about. You don't expect young children to be very what in mathematics? Very smart? Yeah, you don't expect children to be very smart in mathematics because most children are just learning mathematics. But if you find a child or some children or a girl, a little boy who is very good at mathematics, we can call them what? They're very smart, right? They are a genius in mathematics. So even though she's a little girl, even though she's young, she is a genius in mathematics. Okay, we don't expect that. So that's why we say though, even though. It's not expected, it's unexpected. Number two, the beep businessman made little children work too much. That's a bad businessman. Terrible. He doesn't care about the feelings or the welfare of other people. He doesn't care about other people. He just wants to get what he wants. This is really bad. Bad person. What did we say about, what word do we use to describe people who don't care about other people? We say that those people are ruthless. They are ruthless. So a ruthless businessman will make children work too much. Actually, just making children work is ruthless, right? And especially too much, that's terrible. Businessmen shouldn't make children work at all. Children should not work. They should have fun and go to school, right? They're learning. They shouldn't work until they get older, right? Making children work is ruthless. Number three, the king beep himself as a beggar. This is interesting. So imagine, sometimes you hear about this in stories, right? You hear about a king who wants to know about the ordinary people. So he wants to change his appearance so nobody will recognize him. He wants to what? He wants to disguise himself. So the king disguised himself as a beggar. So he could go out and talk to people normally, so they wouldn't think that, oh, he's the king, you know. They would tell him what they really thought. Okay? Sometimes we hear stories like that. That's a common idea in many stories. Okay, number 4. The magician. Magician, a person who performs magic tricks. The magician has an ability to beep into a bird. What would a magician do? What can a magician do? It can do something into a bird to perhaps change himself into a bird, to change his form into a bird and fly away. That would be a great magic trick, right? Well, what word here means to change into something else? Of course, you're probably looking at this word here, transform. The magician has an ability to transform into a bird, to change himself into a bird. That's pretty cool. 5. Usually the beep in a movie does not die. Now think about that. We're talking about characters in a movie, right? We talked about there are good characters and there are bad characters. The good characters are the heroes. The bad characters are the villains. Which ones usually don't die, especially in movies like superheroes and things like that? Of course, the hero in a movie does not die. Usually. Doesn't say always, usually. In some movies, yes, the hero dies. Those are sad movies, right? But usually action movies or superhero movies, the hero doesn't die. The hero wins, right? That's what the movie's about. Good always wins in those movies. But the hero does not die. Okay, next one. Even though he is a nice person, so even though, despite something unexpected, right? Even though he is a nice person, he usually plays the beep in movies. So he's a nice person, but even though he's a nice person, despite that fact, something unexpected, he usually plays, and that means he acts as what in the movies? So we're looking for something opposite of a nice person. What's the opposite of the nice person or the good guy? The opposite, of course, is the villain, right? Even though he is a nice person, he usually plays the villain in movies. So he's a nice actor, the person is nice, but he plays a bad guy in the movies, right? He plays a villain. That makes sense. Okay. 7. I don't like to watch TV because most programs are too what? What are most programs on television? Maybe somebody doesn't like it. Maybe they don't like the people are always fighting, or that maybe somebody dies. What kind of movies are those? Those are violent movies. I don't like to watch TV because most programs are too violent. That person doesn't like the violence on the movies. Number 8, she lives in a beep city. It's the only word left, okay? Of course, we're looking at this word. She lives in a distant city. That means far away. Morowayo, right? Morowayo. She lives in a faraway city. It's funny in Korean, when I was learning Korean, it's very 재밌어요, because in Korean, you know, you say yogi is here, chogi is over there, and chagi is over there, right? So that would be chagi would be like distant, right? Far away, distant, okay? That's just, it's just kind of funny. 재밌어요. Okay, so that wraps up the vocabulary section of this lesson. Let's take a short break. We'll come back and we'll do the reading.